fraud schemes in Minnesota involving the state's large Somali community. Federal prosecutors are accusing the nonprofit group Feeding Our Future and its partners of stealing federal nutrition aid by falsely claiming they helped to distribute food to thousands of children during the COVID-19 pandemic. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the Trump administration is also investigating whether this money was funneled to an al-Qaeda affiliate based in Somalia. CBS News Minnesota investigative reporter Jonah Kaplan brings us more on this.
Minnesota is reeling from a fraud scandal involving $1 billion siphoned from multiple federal programs during the COVID pandemic. In the past 3 years, 87 people have been charged, 61 convicted, most of Somali descent. Erica MacDonald was U.S. Attorney for the District of Minnesota during the first Trump administration. What happened in Minnesota where fraud was able to run rampant that it didn't in other states?
Lack of accountability, frankly. We knew that fraud occurs, and there's warning signs that come with it, and they were ignored in this case.
According to investigators, the schemes involved bogus receipts and invoices for meal programs, housing assistance, and behavioral health services, charging the state millions of dollars for services that were never provided. This week, the president has repeatedly lashed out at Minnesota's Somali community.
We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
I think it's a beautiful country.
Jamal Osman, who moved from Somalia to Minnesota when he was 14, is a naturalized U.S. citizen and a member of the Minneapolis City Council.
Anyone who looks like me are scared right now.
The fear comes as the Somali community here is bracing for a surge of ICE agents cracking down on migrants who have been issued final deportation orders. The president is pointing to the fraud cases in Minnesota, and we know that a majority of the suspects are of Somali descent. How is your community taking that?
Well, my community is upset. Yes, people commit crimes, but the entire community should not be blamed based on what some individuals did.
And the Republicans on a House Oversight Committee in Washington announced in a news release they're launching their own investigation into the fraud in Minnesota and whether some of that money, that stolen taxpayer money, could have made its way to terrorists overseas. But Errol, I spoke with several federal investigators, and they say there's no evidence that happened. Instead, they say the fraudsters actually pocketed the money for themselves and spent it on things like cars, trips, houses, and diamonds, among so much more. Errol?
All right. Jonah Kaplan with some eye-opening reporting there, joining us from